everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Jordan, thanks for watching. Today I've got an awesome guitar to share with you guys. This is the Ibanez AE295 LGS, and this is a cool guitar, and it's not too expensive. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the good things about it, some of the bad I'll get to at the end, and a couple of the things that you're going to need to know. I'd want this to just kind of be the Ibanez AE beginner's guide, because I bought this thing not knowing a ton about these guitars. I've done a lot of research, but there are some things that I just didn't quite get yet, and that I want to share with you guys. And yeah, so let's get into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. So starting with the back of the guitar and moving forward, we have the battery box and output jack on the end, and that's really nice. It makes it easy to change batteries and really easy to get everything just compact, and when it's plugged in, you don't have anything extra to worry about like you do when you have the battery box and the output jack down here on a lot of the lower end Ibanez. So that's really cool. And then the magnetic pickup sits right underneath the fingerboard here, and a volume and tone over here on the side. Top, back, and sides are okium, and then the top is solid. The back and sides are laminated, binding all the way around the entire guitar, and there's even wood binding on the side of the fretboard, which I have found to be a really nice detail and looks really sharp. The rosette looks really good. The finish on the body is very good. It's like a satin or a low gloss kind of a finish, and looks awesome, feels good. The saddle is actually a treated saddle, and that's one of the things that Ibanez does. And I don't know how long they've been doing that. I just found out about it recently, so I think that's really cool. The inlays look really good. The frets are a little bit wider than a normal acoustic fret, which is cool. Not necessarily all that much taller, but a little bit wider, so that's good. Yeah, the neck is multiple pieces of wood, which I actually like that. There's a joint here, and then on the top, one of the ears was actually glued on. So that's, you know, I'm fine with that. I think it's better that they use smaller quantities of wood on stuff like this, instead of, you know, cutting this out of one piece would take a giant piece of wood, and you'd only get one neck out of it. So it's just way more efficient. So I like that they're using glued together necks. They're not necessarily any lower strength than a solid piece of wood. They maybe actually are a little bit stronger in some ways in some places. So that's kind of cool. The scale length is a little bit over 25.5 inches, which is supposed to help with down tuning or drop tuning, depending on what you're going for with your guitar. Pretty much so, for instance, if you tuned instead of to an E standard, which is a normal guitar, if you were to tune to a C standard, you know, where your C here and C on your other strings, everything else is tuned accordingly in the middle. It's supposed to help keep the intonation a little bit better. And you know, finger stylists like John Gum, for instance, he has a signature acoustic with Ibanez. He has a longer scale length on his for that exact purpose. Moving right along, the nut is bone. The tuning machines are pretty nondescript. The headstock looks awesome. I don't think there's any functionality to it, but it does look really cool. So yeah, overall the guitar is a really cool just finish and fit. It looks good every way you turn it. I do like that the strap button is down here instead of on the back of the body or on the other side of the neck. It's just a little more convenient in my opinion. So let's do some sound samples, and then at the end of the video I will go over a couple of things about, you know, just a couple of things that you're going to need to know before buying one of these, and then a couple of things to mention about quality control. But with that, let's do the sound samples. All right, so a couple things to mention right at the end. First off, there are a couple of finish defects, and it doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, I'm just gonna let you know that this is Ibanez. It is, you know, made in a factory, so their quality control is not always gonna be perfect. And the two finish defects that I found on this one, there are sanding marks across the bridge here, and on the back of the neck, it feels like there was a little bit of sand or you know, a little bit of sawdust on the back of the neck when they sprayed the finish. Not a big deal. It doesn't affect playing at all, but you can feel it. So if it bothers you to have, you know, a perfectly smooth finish and then there's these tiny little bumps all the way up and down the neck, that is kind of a bummer. Like I say, for me, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But you know, if that's something that's going to bother you, you should know before you buy one of these instead of after. The other thing to mention, as far as you know, as far as this guitar goes, and just owning one of these that's different from owning another guitar that's the same body style. If you own a Martin or a Taylor, this guitar is not going to fit in that case. Ibanez does have a recommended case for this one, and I'll leave that up on the screen now. But pretty much the reason that it won't fit is because the bottom bout is way too wide. And I tried to fit it in the case I have for my Martin GPC that I've been using for like 2 years now, year and a half, 2 years. And it was probably a ½ inch too wide for that case. And the neck, I barely got the neck in the guitar case just because there's this added, you know, inch up here of material and then the added scale length. So it's just too long for guitar cases like that and too wide for guitar cases like that. Not a big deal, just something to note because their cases are like $50 for the gig bag and then, you know, like $110 for the hard case. So it's just something you should know before you buy one of these if you want to take care of it well. Also, one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is normal bridges and fingerboards. I would oil them, but I'm not sure if I can do that with the with the inlays and stuff on here, if that will lead to the inlays being messed up, like the color messing up on them. So I might try that, and if I have issues, I'll make some sort of an update on my YouTube channel when I get some the lemon oil back in stock. I ran out here a couple of months ago and I need to get some more. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or, you know, just anything to add, if you've owned one of these, please leave it in the comments below. I want this to be a resource for anybody who's looking into buying one of these. And if you guys have, you know, any questions about any other guitars that I've owned, you know, feel free to leave those down below too. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, go follow me on my other social media accounts so that you can keep up with what I'm working on and what guitars I'm playing with currently. So with that, you guys have a great day. We'll see you later.